Hello and welcome to this episode of News Connect on City TV. My name is Kojo Agyeman. Beneficiaries of the Nation Builders Corps want an exit plan and continuity of the policy. On this episode of News Connect on City TV, we speak to the Chief Executive Officer of the Nation Builders Corps, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas. Join me.
One of the two issues, actually, that have sort of come up have been the dual issues of sustainability and then exit arrangements. Valid issues to be raised for a scheme that is dealing with the sort of numbers that we're dealing with. 100,000 people in 7 modules, the biggest module being Educate Ghana, oversubscribed, 43,000 people. Current attempt to deploy about 33 or 37,000 of them. Basically, what that means is that in the years to come, we at the NABCO, based on what we know we have done, which is a work and learning scheme, will be able to engage in a value addition process through the work readiness skills training programs, the content of the learning that will be delivered in terms of the soft skills, the digital skills, to equip these talent that we have, local talent that we have, to assist in the nation building. And for me, the success indicator for us is in the exit arrangements that are made.
Yeah, sure. They have explained.
And we believe that based on what we have crafted, a lot of these guys are going to transition smoothly into permanent employment, even without us having to arrange anything.
What have you crafted?
Basically, what we've done is you look at 3 elements in the process. For someone who is currently out of employment, right, if you look at it in a reverse order, you'd have to address the very issues that have kept the person out of employment. If you took a job advert today in the papers, there are likely to be a number of requirements. Of course, these people have a degree or a diploma. But the degree or diploma is just one bullet point among many things that are required, right? The skills, the competencies. And for us as NABCO, 3 years is enough time for you to say that I have got 3 years experience in an area, whether in revenue mobilization or education. The sort of content to be delivered 1 week out of every 4 weeks, 12 weeks in a year, 36 weeks at the end of the program, 9 months altogether in terms of a learning program. The content is going to be certified so that it defines clearly the pathways for these NABCO trainees, either to be retained by the employers who have engaged them, or for those of them who are interested in self-employment. There are always people who are interested in starting up businesses, and you heard the president, the mentorship scheme and the dedicated fund for the
For me, I find that very, very fascinating, because it's like you're giving the person training, equipping the person at the same time, and then the exit point to be self-empowerment process.
Which is beautiful. I mean, for me, that was the crux of it all. That His Excellency, in mentoring even 500 people by our top business leaders, 500 companies in this country, for 2 years, an incubation would have matured, and at that maturity rate, their 3rd year funding will now be the seed fund to allow them to do the cooperatives, to start those businesses. And those are the people who will engage their peers, who would be exiting at the very end of the scheme. And so for me, it's been very clear. If anyone had stayed on this for 3 years, it equally means that even if their background, and we have a lot of them, they have applied to modules that is not their background, it means that they have chosen a career pathway. So in engaging in further learning, they will now be very focused on what they have gone to do as further learning. If they had a DBE, Diploma in Basic Education, their focus could be in developing a career in early years education, early childhood care and development, and that becomes the chosen career pathway, and we will assist them to be able to get there by the end of the 3 years. And so for us, I think that for the very first time, right choices are being made, that the attempt is made to transform a country, but envisioning a future where our youngsters have a presence and can exploit the opportunities of that transformed nation. And that is what the Nation Builders Corps is about.
Very good point there. But then one of the issues that has come up in the conversation is the fact that some of these programs will be well crafted, people will be trained, and then at the instance of change of power, there's no continuity. We've had
that
issues.
is the sustainability argument. The sustainability argument works on the two levels. One, people are looking at how funding-wise and the support coming from the public funds can be sustained for the sort of numbers that we're dealing with. That's one angle. The other angle is looking at building a credible scheme that would outlast various governments. Outlast various governments. And what that implies is that the scheme has to have one value showcased by the NABCO trainees themselves. Institutional integrity that safeguards the reputation and integrity of the organization to an extent that anyone who is a citizen of Ghana can rely on the scheme to be able to actualize themselves and do something meaningful. Now, for all these areas I have spoken about, you realize that if we're able to get it right in terms of the funding arrangements for it, so that there's funding for it on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis to meet demands of the scheme, but also the NABCO trainees, based on the dictate of the president, adhere to the core values, knowledge, punctuality and integrity, then it means that imagine 100,000 Ghanaians now showcasing knowledge for performance and productivity, being punctual at the workplace and timely, and also you could vouch for their integrity. They'll be doing the right things even if no one was looking. It tells you that the country is at the cusp of something which the president has always highlighted. And so for us, we believe, as the president says, the NABCO will succeed, and we pray that it succeeds to lay the foundations for nation building in this country.
Are we going to see NABCO after 2020, 2024, when maybe there's a different government in power?
I believe so. I believe that the scheme would have justified its value to an extent that it will outlast various governments. Because think about it, for the very first time, you're trying to find a scheme that will bring the corporate to the academic and the academic to the corporate.
And
bridge that gap, so that the oft blames that we associate. You say academic institutions, share a blame in where their graduates, the destination of the graduates are. No. Academic institutions exist to do a particular job. They do that so well. They give them the foundational qualifications. They lay the foundations for the critical thinking and the right judgment to be made by these guys. The corporate element is a process through counseling and guidance, through bringing networking events onto tertiary campuses, so that these guys are exposed to various career options, even as they learn before they exit the tertiary campus. And the president specifically saw the vision and stated it clearly in Kumasi in May, that the future of NABCO is on tertiary campuses. And we hope that that way everyone would see the value in having the Nation Builders Corps.
Great assurances from the Chief Executive Officer of the Nation Builders Corps, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas. That will be all for this episode of News Connect on City TV. My name is Kojo Agyeman. Let's connect soon.